Thank you so much for being here today. We're super excited to have you. I would love if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you for having me on your show. My name is Moshe Goldstein, and I am the author of Starter Mindset.
Love that. What is your book about?
Starter Mindset at its core is about starting a company or some business when you're young or you're inexperienced. It's about taking those passions, those hobbies that are in all of us, and turning that into something which you can turn into a lifelong career, chasing after your dreams and smashing your goals.
What inspired you to write your book?
So a little bit about me is that I am a high school teacher. I teach four classes, 60 students, high school biology, and I always see all of their amazing thoughts and ideas and what they hope that they can become. And I'm also a college student myself, and I see kind of the flip side of people who are going through college and they're kind of waiting and trying to figure out what they can do after they finish their degrees. And I kind of had this idea to and I always had this impression that a lot of people feel like to do something, to chase after something you really want to do, you need to wait. You need to wait to gain experience. You need to wait to get a job or to make a certain amount of money. And I found that through writing this book, that what people really need to start something is to chase is an inspiration of seeing how to do it and really just taking that first step. So I wrote Starter Mindset to encourage, inspire more people to chase after their dreams and to pursue something they really love.
That when you were writing your book, who were you thinking of when it comes to who your book is for?
I was thinking about everyone who has an idea that they really want to pursue, a love of a hobby that they've always wanted to turn into a career, but never felt that they had the tools to do so. So it's for anyone, whether you're a young adult, you're in high school or middle school, or you're in your career and you have that idea and you need that help, that guiding um, gu- book to help you. That is who Starter Mindset's for.
Amazing. How long have you been writing, and what made you really sit down and start to write your book?
I started writing Starter Mindset 3 years ago. What got me started writing was the opportunity of having interviewed 14 people under the ages of 25 who have gone into extreme success very quickly and having those stories and then being in the position to take those stories and turn that into Starter Mindset as a guide to help people to achieve something they've been pursuing.
Amazing. What is your schedule like when you're writing a book?
So when I'm writing a book, I'm balancing being a college student. My major is computer science, mathematics, and cybersecurity. I have a lot on my plate, all the tests and the homeworks and the studying. That was my full-time job. So my schedule writing was typically, I always joke around with friends and fellow co-authors that I did my best writing between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And I did that regularly. It took me about 16 months to actually complete the book, and it's a roller coaster ride. You have how much time in a schedule of a week you allot to it, but things just keep changing, and it's about flexibility and be able to kind of roll with things happening in your life. And actually, for me, one thing that made writing the book easier for me was that I wrote the book actually during the pandemic. I started to write Starter Mindset at the beginning of February of 2020, and the lockdowns happened in March. And so I had a lot of alone time and a lot of time just to sit down and to focus on writing Starter Mindset.
Amazing. What do you need in your writing space to help you stay focused?
editors. I need editors, whether they're developmental editors, manuscript editors, um, and the community to take my ideas and to help me to navigate, to be able to turn it into a book and to create new paths in the stories to write more.
Amazing. What is your favorite writing snack or drink?
Coffee.
Love that. What type of books do you enjoy reading personally?
I like science fiction and I like history books, books on history.
Are there any books or authors that inspired you to become a writer?
I know for me, what inspired me to write this book is all those books I've read in the library on business and startups, and about whether it's Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs, the really famous ones. I always felt like I needed a book that could speak to me and could speak to where I am at in life. At kind of more at the starting points rather than the finish line. And so I felt like it would be great if I can be the person to write that, to share that with people.
So amazing. What type of books did you grow up reading and did you have a favorite?
Growing up, I read a lot of James Patterson and I read a lot of Alex Rider. Um, Aragon was one of my favorite books. Um, yeah,
On the opposite side of that, now as an adult, what are your favorite series or authors?
favorite series. My favorite David Baldacci. I really enjoy reading his books. And I really enjoy reading science fiction and books about innovation, kind of like where the future could lend in, let's say, 10 or 20 or 50 years.
Amazing. What would you tell someone just starting out with reading again?
I would tell them to go to the library and just browse the shelves. And I do this when I want to. I'm kind of in this place where I don't really know what I want to read, but I have this urge to read. And I go in the library. I expect that I might have maybe one or two books, and then I walk out with a handful of books.
I love that. What would you tell someone just starting to write their own book?
If someone wants to write their own book, I would tell them to take it slow, not to try to write the whole book in one sitting. When I wrote Starter Mindset, my goal was to finish it in 6 months. It ended up taking me 2 years. The average book is written in 2 years and even more. Some of the most famous books, as my editors have told me, took more than 2 years to write. So I'd say be very patient with it and just consistently set time down, whether it's once a week or once every 2 weeks. And as you build up the words and the stories and the book starts to get along, you will get closer to that finish line.
Amazing. What's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you?
People are generally surprised by how young I was when I wrote the book. People think people have often think that to write a book you need to have a lot of titles and a lot of PhDs or kind of uh, things going along your name to write a book. And so when they meet me and they read the book, they're actually surprised how young I was when I wrote the book, and the fact that I was able to put out such a good work.
Amazing. Do you mind sharing how old you were when you wrote your book?
So the book published 3 months ago, and I'm 26.
Amazing. Such an amazing accomplishment. Is there anything you would like to say or add?
Yes, a quote by Walt Disney. He said that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And those dreams could be anything that you have always wanted to achieve. And in Starter Mindset, I've interviewed 14 people under the ages of 25 from all industries who had the courage to chase after the dreams, to take those risks early on, and to become who they are now today. They're famous celebrities and fashion designers and artists and actors, and they started very young. By starting younger and earlier, when you do so, the knowledge you compound will build into your success very quickly, earlier on. And it's very important to recognize that, and to start whatever you want to do as soon as you can, to push off waiting and to start taking action steps, whether it's wanting to write that book but never actually have done so yet, but now sitting down with just a pen and a paper and just starting to write, putting your thoughts down on the paper and forming it into something which you can take to a publisher or an editor later on, and get it ready for a publisher to publish a book or something like that.
So amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Where's the best place for readers to find your book? I know some readers love signed copies. Is that an option? And the best place that they can connect with you?
So anyone can connect with me on my website, startermindset.com. There's a contact form where you can reach out to me, whether it's just to talk to me or for speaking engagements, to do book signings, etc. If you would like a signed copy, you could feel free to message me through that form. I'm happy to mail you out a signed copy as well. The book is on Amazon as well. It's Starter Mindset by Moshe Goldstein.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, Moshe. I'll be sure to drop those links in the show notes so that everyone can find you. And thank you again so much.
Thank you so much, Courtney, for having me on your show.